It's a word that sparks emotion, that brings back memories of our hardest moments. Fear is something most of us have been told to avoid, to conquer, to silence. But what if fear wasn't the enemy? What if fear was a guide, a compass pointing us toward the very edge of what we're capable of, to the limits we're meant to break through? Picture this. A young woman stands at the edge of a towering cliff, the ocean stretching endlessly below. Her heart pounds. Every instinct tells her to step back, to turn around. But something inside whispers that this is her moment, that facing this fear could change her life. In that moment of freefall, she discovers something unexpected. Fear wasn't there to stop her, it was there to show her she was capable of more. Her fear became a bridge to courage, a spark that lit a fire within. In a faraway city where everyone locks their fears away in chests to keep themselves safe, a young boy is given the last key. He's heard all the warnings. Lock your fears away, don't let them touch your life. But something stirs inside him, a curiosity he can't ignore. He opens the chest, releasing his fears one by one. At first, he feels exposed, vulnerable, but then something changes. His senses sharpen, his instincts heighten. Each fear that emerges gives him new insight, a new strength. And in that moment, he understands fear is not there to confine him. It's there to unlock the doors to his potential. He learns that fear, when faced, becomes his greatest teacher, guiding him to a life of bravery, curiosity, and self-discovery. In a small mountain village, the people live in fear of the wolves that roam the dark forest. But one day, a young girl's brother goes missing, and she knows she has no choice but to enter the forest to find him. With each step, her heart races, her mind fills with what-ifs. She wants to turn back, but something deep inside pushes her forward. She begins to notice things, the faint path her brother left, the subtle sounds of animals moving away, signs she would have missed without her heightened senses. In facing her fear, she discovers not just her brother, but a part of herself that was hidden, a fierce courage, a sharp intuition. She realizes that fear wasn't there to keep her safe at home. It was there to help her find the courage she needed to protect the ones she loved. Fear, for so many of us, feels like a barrier, but for those who have dared to face it, fear becomes a path. It sharpens our senses, makes us alert, pushes us to grow. It leads us to places within ourselves we would never have found otherwise. Take, for example, a scientist with a fear of deep water. Haunted by a past accident, she hesitates to go back under, yet something calls her forward. Her research demands that she face the depths she fears, that she push beyond her own limits. Sense her fear becomes her ally, making her alert, careful, adaptive. In her fear, she discovers resilience. In her fear, she finds a new appreciation for the beauty around her. Fear doesn't need to be our enemy. It can be our guide, our teacher. It can point us to the moments where we have the chance to grow, to redefine ourselves, to push beyond what we believed were our limits. So the next time you feel fear, when you feel your heartbeat quicken, your breath grow shallow, pause. Remember, fear is not always the enemy. Sometimes it's the compass pointing you toward your greatest potential. Because the secret of life isn't in running from fear, but in embracing it. For every limit you think you have is simply waiting to be overcome.